France has been hit with 7 attacks in the last 2 years. The accused are French Muslims. Mistrust, fear, and prejudice is at an all-time high. Mainstream French say they feel afraid for their safety and their lifestyle. Muslim French feel that they are being stereotyped and ostracized. I'm here in the suburbs of Paris to speak with Muslim men and women and understand their perspective of what's going on here.
People don't wake up in the morning one day deciding, okay, now I'm gonna be bad and I'm gonna do bad things. That kind of stuff doesn't happen with no reason.
On November 13, 2015, the citizens of Paris were terrorized by multiple attacks across the city, including suicide bombings and mass shootings. 130 people died that night, and all 9 attackers either committed suicide or were eventually killed by police. ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack, but it was actually carried out by French and Belgian citizens. To understand what makes a young man or woman turn their anger violently against their own nation, I went to Saint-Saint-Denis, or Department 93, a suburb of Paris, which has long been home to the city's immigrant and Muslim communities. And I spoke directly with the mother and sister of one of the November 13th attackers, who also died that night. There is a deep distrust of the media among French Muslims, and this family agreed to an interview only under the condition that they and their son remain anonymous. You describe.
Okay.
Your childhood. How was your childhood?
It was a very normal childhood with one sister and one brother. My father was away very often because of work. My mother spent all her time raising us properly and giving us good education.
Comme le disait sa grande sœur, le chouchou, je ne m'en rendais pas compte parce que c'était le garçon.
He was charming and very clever, very smart, only very, very quiet. He was thinking a lot about the world and about justice and what was going wrong in the world.
When he decided to leave France, did he tell you?
Si, goodbye, parce qu'il devait s'absenter pour un séjour, quelques jours de vacances. Donc moi, je me suis dit, c'est très bien, il va partir, ça va lui changer les idées, un peu de vacances, ça va lui faire du bien. Il n'est plus jamais revenu.
At what point did you discover that your son is not coming back?
Parce que c'est ses amis qui m'ont dit, ça y est, il est en Syrie.
Aziza is another French mother whose son Sami was also radicalized in France and recruited by ISIS.
So this is the first message he sent his mother after he went to Syria.
كيت لو بي يعني خلي البلدان هذيا حابين نمشي لغاديك. انا كنشوفوها كنقول وجه ولدي انا من داخلنا.
وهاي صورته هسه؟
هذه الصورة قبل ما يمشي وقت يعمل لو باسبور نتاعو.
في بعينه انه ما في شيء هيك راح الانهرابات، ما هيك؟
السما تحت على راسي. مرتين السما تحت على راسي 3 مرات. مرة اللي وقت مشى لسوريا كي جاتني هذه لا فيديو، ومرة كي قالوا لي توفى.
This is his burial by ISIS. How many kids you have?
J'ai 3 filles et un garçon. D'études, moi j'ai la grande qui est avocate, la deuxième qui était dans la police et la troisième qui fait des études d'ingénieur. Et le 4e, malheureusement, n'a pas voulu faire des grandes études, il a voulu faire une formation de gardien. Avant ça, déjà, il s'est fait endoctriner par un rabatteur à Sevran. C'était un collègue à lui qui travaillait avec lui dans son milieu de travail.
Was there anything wrong in the childhood? Was there trouble in the family?
Je leur ai donné une très bonne éducation. Ils n'ont jamais été malheureux, au contraire. C'est des enfants qui avaient tout. Et j'ai tout fait pour qu'ils aient tout. Voilà, ils manquent de rien.
Tell me about the role of religion in raising them here as French citizens.
Moi, je les ai éduqués dans un pays français, laïque, hein, normal, tout à fait. On est des musulmans, d'accord, mais on est en France. C'est un pays laïque, donc il faut suivre, voilà. Donc je les ai éduqués comme ça.
You practice Islam, I think, as most Muslim people practice Islam.
At the beginning, not at all.
At the beginning, not at all.
Not really religious education, just Ramadan, that's it.
You celebrate holiday.
Yes, but not as much as Christmas.
There you go. Really?
Yes, of course, yes.
So you celebrated Christmas more than you celebrated Eid?
Yes, because we were just French people.
At what point did you notice something happened? Your son has changed.
Ça a été assez vite. Peut-être lentement au début, on ne s'est pas vraiment rendu compte. Mais après, il allait, lui qui n'allait jamais à la mosquée, il ratait pas une prière, il allait tout le temps à la mosquée, de la première jusqu'à la dernière.
So he was becoming more religious gradually.
It got quicker after the first time he got arrested by police.
Why was he arrested?
He was going to a mosque that was famous for Salafists going there. When they came in the middle of the night to take him, he laid down on his bed with the hands in his back. So he said, if I'm getting a bullet in my body, at least they will see that it's from the back and I didn't do anything. He was released after 4 or 5 days because they couldn't prove anything, but I know that he was very scared. He said, you know, if they want to say you did something, they would say it. And there is nothing you can do about it.
He does not trust the system, basically.
No.
He does not trust the justice system.
At all.
So there's something going on in my generation. Most of us don't trust the authority, like whether it is media, whether it is politics. And so they go for easy answers. And easy answers are coming from the Front National, which is the extreme right, and from those jihadi movements.
I loved meeting Samia. She's a young woman who was a teacher in the suburbs, and she saw how some of her students became vulnerable to recruitment by extremist groups.
So when I was a teacher, I had one of my kids, Adama, very quiet, very polite. His family was coming from Mali. A year ago, I received Facebook messages from Layla, a former student, and she told me Adama died. And she told me he died in Syria. And she said, I don't have to explain you why he was there. My generation have pretty much nothing idealistic to think of or to dream of. Like their parents came to give them a better life, and at the end of the day, it's not the case. It's a lie. And that's why people are so angry against it.
Did you face discrimination, racism when you were growing up?
We did not really face this in the first place because we grew up here, so we were just with people like us. We were very surprised afterward when we found out about the real world, that it was different. Like if you have an Arabic name, life could be very hard.
There's a reality that you can sense on a daily basis, but I think there's also structural racism. And whenever you dig into why most of the immigrants' background kids go to vocational school, you can see that it's not because the parents are not pushing them, it's because the structural education system is really against them. They always send new teachers to teach there. It's a place where no one wants to go.
Nous sommes à l'Abreuvoir, ça se trouve à Bobigny, à 4 km de Paris. En même temps, on est très proche de Paris, mais en même temps, on est très loin de Paris. En fait, pour aujourd'hui, le challenge pour les jeunes, c'est de pouvoir obtenir un emploi. Sur leur CV, il y ait la mention dans l'adresse 93. C'est assez stigmatisant.
You cannot enter these suburbs without knowing Fouad. He knows everyone. He's a guy who can bridge between how people are feeling and what their aspirations are and how could their aspirations be accomplished.
T'es toujours belle.
Merci.
Salut.
Fantastic. You are like the most popular community organizer. A lot of the youth I spoke with, they said we are angry. We're angry because we don't feel we are treated as equal citizens.
Je pense qu'en fait, les gens sont pas fâchés, contrairement à ce qu'on pense. Ils sont parfois désespérés, mais pas fâchés, parce qu'il n'y a pas cette violence et cette haine envers les autres, celle qui est véhiculée par l'ensemble des médias. Moi, j'ai toujours dit, en fait, ici, on voit toujours la minorité visible, mais on voit jamais la majorité invisible.
Everyone is complaining about the media. That no matter what they say, no matter what they do, the media only sees them as one thing and only convey the image of the bad Muslim, of the radical Muslim. Many people talk to me off the records. The minute they see the camera, they're like, absolutely not.
Ceux qui font l'actualité passent en boucle et associent Daesh à l'islam, associent les terroristes à l'islam. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, il faut le dire comme c'est une secte. C'est pas une religion, c'est pas une foi, c'est une secte.
Why many people believe the youth in this community is particularly vulnerable to recruitment by a radicalized group?
Ici, en fait, parfois, on concentre les difficultés, problèmes liés à l'éducation, problèmes financiers, problèmes de travail. Ici, les problèmes sont regroupés. Ça ne veut pas dire que ça ne se fait pas ailleurs. Ça se fait aussi ailleurs. Mais parce qu'en fait, tous les facteurs sont cumulés. Ici, on a beaucoup plus de chances de tomber soit dans la radicalisation ou soit dans la délinquance.
The radicalization of Muslims, that's an argument for the politician in order to don't give an answer for the true problem in France. Economic, social.
Nabil is a researcher who's also raised here in Department 93. He has conducted interviews and research into the true causes of radicalization among French youth.
So the recruitment is happening in the mosque or in the streets? Where is the recruitment is happening?
In majority, the recruitment is by internet.
That's a very important
Yes,
point.
absolutely. 99% of mosques are enemies of this organization.
Who are these radical groups? Are they one ideology or many ideologies?
They don't talk about ideology, about religion. The majority talk about social positions.
Adama had no job. He said to one of my former students whom he was in love to, let's get married and go to Syria because I will have a job and I will have money and I will have a place.
The argument is we will have a better place than you have in your country.
Ils arrivent à capter l'attention de ces enfants, ils arrivent à les valoriser, ils arrivent à leur dire « tu vas faire quelque chose de ta vie, tu sais être bon, tu vas être généreux avec l'autre ». Et puis petit à petit, cette personne, on va lui dire d'aller faire peut-être un peu d'humanitaire dans un autre pays. Et puis ensuite, on va l'emmener dans un autre pays. Et ensuite, on va l'emmener en Syrie.
Sa sœur qui lui pose la question « mais qu'est-ce que tu es parti faire en Syrie ?» Et il lui répond il va défendre la veuve et l'orphelin. Et c'est là que les jeunes, ils vont sur Internet et ils voient des choses horribles qu'il ne faut pas voir. Et là, ils se disent « oh, on va servir à quelque chose », puisqu'ils nous ont dit « voilà, c'est ça ».
ISIS is simply filling a void. It is giving a sense of belonging to people who don't feel they can belong to French society. You can kill as much ISIS as you can, and we will. But that does not resolve the issue of the void. We need to address the void itself, because all of us are part of the collective that makes the void, the social void, the economic one, the belonging one, the identity one possible. This is not an isolated issue. This is a societal issue, and everyone needs to be part of it.
There was no Daesh in the first place. It was just about
L'association humanitaire.
yes,
Humanitarian.
helping people.
Okay.
When he joined his team in Syria, it was like a rebirth. He was happy again and he was smiling again and he was meeting a lot of people from all over the world. He was feeding animals, he's an animals lover. He sent me many pictures of him in Syria with cats. Like, this is my new cat. We were thinking, wow, it's cool. So maybe this is a good thing and maybe he will be able to come back one day. A couple of months after, we were discussing, always through Skype. I was very upset about something at work because my boss was driving me crazy. And he said, "My poor sister, you know, today I've seen many kids got shot." And I remember that conversation we had. He said, "Sister, why isn't nobody doing anything? Why people don't come here to help? Nobody cares?" I said, "No, bro, no, nobody cares. That's just the way it is. That's it. We cannot do anything. We cannot save the world."
What's happening?
Si tu peux parler, je bouche mes oreilles.
You can't hear this.
Bien sûr, je ressens un vide. Mon fils me manque beaucoup. Je ne peux pas ne pas l'aimer. J'ai demandé pardon à toutes les victimes. Je sais que je les ferai pas revenir, qu'elles souffrent autant que moi, qu'on a la même souffrance. Je pense tous les jours à ces gens-là.
De faire très très attention à leurs enfants, de protéger leurs enfants. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, malheureusement, personne n'est à l'abri. Qu'ils soient musulmans, chrétiens, juifs, ça touche tout le monde.
We have the choice of taking a leap of faith and hearing what the other has to say. Can we hear that Islam is not a violent religion? Can we hear that there is social, economic, political injustice going on? This is a time of fear, in my opinion. It is also the time to show up. We need to show up by trying to do something, by meeting each other and getting to know the humanity of each other. It's everyone's showing up moment. It's everyone's leap of faith.